and causing strain, composing opposed foes, who simple as teens' mind can't see between the lines.
Anyway, but through him is where sin begins, closing the mind, afflicted souls confined, taken away from real knowledge.
Gonna go live in
corroded
just a few
souls
minutes.
can't be
Stand by.
polished. Everyday occurrences even amount up. Correct decision making is how you make up ground that slid by earlier. Newfound visions getting clearer and clearer from the blur. Having faith someday things will change. No more living with afflictions from the game.
Welcome.
Figuring out new ways
Going
to
live
change
here
it.
in a minute.
Concentrating on Christ, relaying his message through my spit. Generating a following for the truth. Subsidizing bad seeds, making my way through.
They say eye for eye makes the whole world blind, but being kind is generosity that brightens the mind. So while I'm looking at this mess, I feel stressed. Who's the next to get their soul repossessed by sex? Cause from the HIV comes the AIDs, all because you trust a girl who got a fake ID. This shit is crazy. Cause now she got a baby, gave it up in the back seat of Damien's Mercedes. Looked it up one night, but now it's too late. She's 7 months by a man that a girl said was shooting blanks. What a waste. Hope she learned from her mistakes. Got replaced at her school by another lady's face. Let your education be a sedation, a medication. Remain patient for the day of your elevation to the next stage. We on the next page. Another chapter in your book that makes you look around for better days. Until I die, I take my strides with my head up, so I'm never getting checked. What? We live in life now.
All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. It is the 14th episode. Woo! And I thought I'd represent Oakland here, baby. Woo! Oakland high life. Anyone else living that high life? Oh, yeah. Woo! Welcome. Who do we got watching? Who's watching? We got folks on. Who's on? I see one person on. I think there's more. Are there more? Let's just give it a sec. Welcome. It's Monday, April 6th. It's April 6th already. I can't believe it. We got a lot of great stuff to talk about. Sorry I'm a little late to get started, but c'est la vie. It just keeps on rolling. Oh, I got my mask on. I don't know if it's approved for the coronavirus. I need a little mouth covering, but... I need to work on my toning, but you can see it's all there. Woo! Okay, so, as of course, I am Sam, DJ Lumberjack. You could call this. It's a little annoying to talk in this, so maybe I'll just do one of those. Welcome to episode 14 of the vlog. We keep rolling. If you did not know, I said it would come out Friday at 5, but our new podcast is up. Thank you, Rob Reddy of PianoFight. So we're going to listen to a snippet of that pretty soon. But first, let's talk about our topics of the day. And of course, as we always do, we want to shout out the essential workers that are still working. A lot of us are stuck at home. A lot of us are working at home, but still in shelter in place, whereas these essential workers, shout out, thank you, essential workers. These essential workers are out there in the community and working day to day. Now, again, like I always say, we always think about the hospital workers, medical staff, police, fire, Coast Guard, the postal workers, but again, people that are working in food where restaurants are trying to just stay alive, and so they're shifting their business model. Actually, we talk about that a lot in the podcast with Rob Reddy, because they have a restaurant, but it's more about they're a live venue. So how do they shift their model to incorporate everyone staying at home? The virtual events that they're creating, similar to this live vlog, they're trying to create live performances, but how does that translate when you don't have an audience? I mentioned, speaking of the wrestling mask, going on a little tangent, but that's okay. Wrestling is the only live sporting event, I know it's not competitive sports, but it's sporting, right, that they're doing without an audience. So speaking of sports, you can see I go off on tangents a lot. Shout out to my teams, NBC Sports Bay Area, NBC Sports California. They've committed to paying us for our jobs that we've lost up until April 15th. So that cushions the blow. So thank you. So anyways, we always start off the show thanking the essential workers, social workers, DMV, all those things you don't think about. Of course, we want to love and thank all the healthcare workers that are putting themselves at risk. So thank you for that. But also, like I mentioned, UPS drivers, United States postal workers. We'll get to them in a sec, talking about the stimulus package. Restaurant workers that have to stay alive. They have to work in order to maintain their health and livelihood. We've got construction outside on our street. They've got to keep working. They're working on our sewer lines and our water lines, so thank you for that. So yeah, that's the first topic of every show until things change. So thank you, essential workers. The next topic I want to talk about is, I believe the second topic is, did I have... It's the stimulus relief fund. So I mentioned I thought we were going to talk about quarantine versus distancing. I forgot how I ordered it, but the stimulus relief fund, $2 trillion package. Okay. It's a bit of a bamboozle, because as we are learning, it just, it bothers me even just to say it, but the $600 a month we're going to get extra on unemployment, it turns out that it's a loan up to $1,200, I think it is, or whatever, $12,000, I don't know. That's an advance on our tax return. So we're not getting any money. Now, it's one thing to say, oh, we're just getting handouts, but you're seeing government step up in every other country. I heard Spain became the first country to have a comprehensive package where they pay everyone to stay at home, and a monthly stipend. What's the Andrew Yang term? Universal basic income, UBI or UBE. Sorry, income is with an I. I can't spell today. Yeah, I had it right first. UBI. So, anyways. And businesses, large corporations, are getting the other part of the $2 trillion package, and they're just getting money hands free. And then you also have to argue these businesses getting massive tax reliefs and tax benefits to start, and also government subsidies and all this kind of stuff. So who needs it more is basically what I'm getting at. So that's just something that's been mulling over. I hope everyone's had a good weekend. After I go through the topics of the day, I should start over on what this vlog is all about for anyone that's watching that's new. And I decided to get a little crazy with a little lucha mask. Woo! It's El Hombre de Raiders. Who else is living the Oakland high life? Anyone else out there watching in Oakland high life? So yeah, that's what I have to say about the stimulus package. The stimulus relief fund is, we got a little bamboozled there. We got a little, carrot on the stick there, where if it is truly a loan, an advance of our tax returns, that's just, I'm not with that. I'm not with that at all. So, yeah, I don't know what we're gonna have to do there, but I would have to say that, it's just another sign of government, and I'm not just blaming this on Trump. I don't want to get too political here, because all the Democrats in the Congress, they signed it, right? So So what's really going on with trying to help us out versus big businesses? All right, moving on to the third topic. Quarantine versus shelter in place. Now, everyone should be staying at home. You shouldn't be congregating. Let me tie this up so it looks a little cleaner. I'm going to talk about that. That's another topic I have. Oh, yeah. There we go. That looks a little better, doesn't it? Woo! What if I throw on some glasses? Oh, muy suave, hombre! Yeah, baby. Just a lot harder to see the screen and operate. But you know what? I'm going to do my best because who cares? Quarantine, and we saw this in China, and I hope it doesn't come to this. Quarantine is they literally like locked us indoors and made us not go out. Distancing, we just have to use good caution and limit our outdoor use, limit our errands. But a lot of places are doing this. My wife went to Berkeley Bowl over the weekend, and it took her nearly 3 or 4 hours, but it was worth it because we got really, really good stuff. But, everyone just had to stay 6 feet away. They were limiting the amount of people that came in, and that's the kind of protocol. Because, again, they don't want a complete quarantine because we've seen what this has done to the economy. They want the economy to operate at some level. So some of this has to do with, we're supposed to be inside cooking our own meals. But you know what? Once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks, if you have a little money, if you're still working, if you still get some sort of income, go out and get a burger somewhere or something. I think that will help the economy. So, it's not gonna change what's going on, but it will sort of soften the blow. And a lot of us are going on unemployment. Some of us I don't have a full-time job. I'm a freelancer, but I have a main employer. They thankfully are helping us out, but that's only until April 15th. I'm going to have to go on unemployment after that. I'll have some savings, and luckily mortgages are being frozen and evictions are being held and all this kind of stuff. Some landlords are actually freezing rent, which is great. But getting back to the quarantine versus distancing, it's really important to stay inside and not congregate as much as you can. But you got to be able to get fresh air. We're gonna check in again on. Why can't I see this? Screenshot YouTube. Maybe I just have to look it up here. I always like to go to the East Bay Regional Parks website because I use that. Those are some of the parks that I live closest to, so we always check their update. But I talked to my dad who lives down on the peninsula, and he went out to the beach. And most places are the same. They don't let you park. The facilities are closed, but they allow you to, utilize the parks. And again, here it says, okay, the parks that are completely closed are in red. So there are some parks that are completely closed, and a lot of those parks are small enough, or it just makes sense. Or Point Isabel is a dog park, so it's really hard to keep your distance because if your dogs get into something and you have to go over there, that kind of thing. But a lot of these places are open. Chabot's open, Redwood's open, that kind of thing. And they made these great videos. We should check out one of these videos. Packing out the trash. Here's a no group social distancing. Let's check out the social distancing one.
During the COVID-19 emergency, parks are busy. To keep East Bay Regional Parks open and safe, we need your help. We're in this together. Keep a safe 6-foot distance from other people. For more information, go to ebparks.org.
So that's again the point of this this topic, quarantine versus distancing, is we are allowed to go outside. You can tell that they want you to go and utilize the parks, but just again be sensible about it and maintain 6 feet. So this again is just the East Bay Regional Parks policy. Each park in each city has their own specific difference, but it's kind of the same rule of thumb. Stay inside as much as you can, use your backyard, walk around the block, use your neighborhood. But when you're at a park, don't go on the swings, just walk around, keep your distance from people, that kind of thing. That's the best thing to do. So let's move on to our next topic. And I think we're just going to have to wait and see. Maybe we will turn into an actual quarantine, which will be sad, and we'll be forced to, we're seeing other countries doing that, being a little bit more, being way more forceful and aggressive and authoritative with keeping people inside. And it might come to that. Speaking of our next topic, is I don't know if you guys saw this over the weekend, or was it Thursday or Friday of last week? I got to look this up to show you the Oakland Sideshow. This sideshow happened over the weekend. And, yeah, this is K-Pix's the video of it. So let's check this out real quick. You can see it pop up on my screen here.
Well, a wild weekend in Oakland after hundreds of people went against the shelter-in-place orders and gathered in the streets. Police say it was all part of an illegal sideshow last night. They believe nearly 450 people gathered on Oakland Street.
I'm all about town
and
business.
were cheering on the drivers, not far from a senior center. KPIX5's Julia Goodrich on the warning from police.
It's been a while since.
All right, so she's talking about it, blah, blah, blah. And, like, of course, I'm all about the sideshows. I'm all about the sideshows. But, it's, yeah, here we go. It's just like, come on, man. Like, you got to be smart about this. Like, look at all those people. All those people are probably contaminated. Like, there could be one person that, look, she's interviewing someone about it. But, like, it's spreading so fast. You don't know who in there, where they've gone, who they've been in contact with. One of those, out of 400 people, I bet you one person has some sort of version of the coronavirus. And that's just not cool. Like, I'm sorry. Like, you got to just wait. I know when you're young. Oh, you know what? That's kind of crazy. They're just showing the damage of what happened. Yeah, let's just watch the end of this. How much longer is this video? Yeah, I'll just talk. There's like 30 seconds left of this video. So yeah, I mean, like, I can understand. Yeah, so I was pretty close to this. Our house was, because like we heard the helicopter circling around, the area, and I was kind of wondering what it was about. And of course, I was with my daughter, so I didn't want to. Yeah, so there you go. I didn't really want to go check it out too much, but yeah, I mean, like when you're young and you're bottled in, of course you're gonna want to get out and meet with your people and just say F this, this is, but like, I'm sorry, like you gotta, and I bet you a lot of those people believe this is some sort of hoax. You know what I mean? That this is some sort of like, oh, they just want us to take vaccines to inoculate us and all this kind of stuff. I talked about this a little bit on this vlog before. None of that is happening. Like I will say that certain governments are taking advantage of this this time. So yeah, but this isn't some mass conspiracy about what's going on. Okay, this is really like a serious pandemic, and we need to be careful. Okay, did I talk about this one already? Yeah. Okay, so I have one more topic. Let's go there. And where did I put it? 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 There it is. All right, so last topic, switching things over to a little lighter. If you haven't heard, HBO is offering free, and I think it's only for this month of April, which is still pretty good. They're offering free content. Now, it's tricky because I did this, I think it was Saturday night. I signed on to HBO Go. I can't remember if it was HBO Go or HBO Now. If anyone knows the difference between the two, please tell me. I'd really like to know. But it's actually not on either of those apps. It's on the Roku. So if you have a Roku, it's on the Roku channel of Roku. So like you have your Netflix app, you got your Spotify app maybe, and then you got your Hulu app. You got all your different apps to watch your stuff. We have Sling to watch live TV, right? Sling app. It's on the Roku channel app. And on there's a playlist that has free HBO stuff. So That's how you get free HBO. You can get the 7-day trial, or maybe even extend it to a 14-day trial on the HBO Go, HBO Now. But to watch free stuff, now it's not a complete free HBO channel. It's like a lot of the older like Sopranos, The Wire, Curb Your Enthusiasm, a lot of the like legacy shows are on there. So yeah, check that out. That's what it's all about. All right, we need a drum roll. Bum 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 bum. It is now time to showcase. We released the Sam Jack podcast. I'm not a professional, but wait, I am. Interview with Rob Reddy, episode 8. I had to like go into Adobe Premiere on Friday because we weren't done editing. I said it'd be out on Friday. I actually didn't release it till Saturday, but who really cares? It's shelter in place. We're on our own time, and I want to showcase what we did. My interview with Rob Reddy of PianoFight. So if you guys are ready, I'm gonna play a little snippet of it. Let's see, where should we go? Do I have it queued up? Yeah, here we go.
Something like that, or then like a lot of these companies who are kind of tech companies and whomever else are kind of looking for online experience things to do with their staff because they can't go to the museum, they can't go for happy hours, right? So
yeah,
like can we bring a happy hour to them? It's like maybe.
Interesting.
So
Curbside pickup.
See how that works, but like I think we're basically that crowdfunding thing gave us some reading room.
That's tremendous. I mean, that just shows so much love for the community that your community has, your audience has, right?
It was really hard. Like it's hard to overstate the emotions that kind of came along with watching that happen.
Yeah. That's cool. So you talked a little bit about Mission Control. I know I worked with them when we were doing the Variety Society. Those were the main group that came and helped out. But, the female, of course, I'm drawing a blank with the group. I'm sorry? Chardonnay, yeah. So, yes. Chardonnay, thank you. Little mix up with there. We'll work on that. Publish it. Yeah, exactly. So Chardonnay, Mission Control. I feel like that sort of, the different facets and the different subgroups that were sort of the collective piano fight helped, not only shape and build your community and your audience and your success, but also in these times of troubles, like that's where it all comes in, right? You over time, you've built, an authentic fan base that you can't create with Instagram posts or social media campaigns or anything like that, right? So when it comes time for people really wanting to, they look to you as a, pillar in the community, place to get great art, great comedy, great music. And so like talk about how those different facets sort of came together to build PianoFight up and sort of create that kind of network. And like, we all grew up in the like Voltron Transformer days, right? You kind of feel like they're all different pieces of the puzzle coming together, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So we started. Our first year, we were just kind of doing anything we could. I got handed the keys
It's pretty sweet. And real estate was still relatively cheap back then, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Relatively. Right.
and like 23-year-old. We all had jobs too, and roughly, or most of us had jobs, and so nobody was really caring about like making a ton of money or whatever. We were just trying to like have some fun and like drink some beers and do some comedy and play some music. So we kind of were just doing plays and doing whatever for about a year, and then we did this show called Short Lived, and that show is kind of developed it as an audience judge theater competition, and it's evolved since it started in 2007 quite a bit, but it brought in all these people. It brought in the 4 guys from Mission Control. It brought in the 4 ladies who went on to form Chardonnay, and just all these other folks. And kind of that process of doing that show every year, where you just kind of keep bringing in all these folks who are like really hungry and talented and cool. Those folks who are hungry and talented and cool, you're like, hey, you want to like do something else later, next year, whatever? And they go, yeah, definitely. So that short-lived kind of like held this.
All right, so you get the idea. So check that out. It's on this YouTube channel, Viral Media Network 415. You're probably watching already. So check out the playlist, Sam Jack Podcast. And you can look for that right here. And that's on YouTube. So right here, Viral Media Network 415. It's also on SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/SamJackPodcast. And again, if you want to follow us, you can follow us on Instagram. That's at viralmedia.network. Oh, look, and it's already there. I didn't even take it away. And viralmedianetwork.com is our website. Viral Media Network on Facebook. Thank you again for watching. I got some recommendations now, and then we'll wrap up the show. So I usually recommend some YouTube channels. I will get to that in a sec. But we were also watching, my wife and I were watching on Hulu, The Amazing Jonathan. And I don't know if you've seen The Amazing Jonathan. He was a... he still is. He's still performing. That's the crazy thing. But he's a magician, comedian. And let's see, no preview. Yeah, we'll just watch this real quick. So, So anyways, this is about him sort of trying to make a comeback, and he's dealing with drugs and stuff. Is it not going to let me watch? It's on Hulu. Check it out. It's great. He's a very eccentric person. Eccentric person. And it's just really funny just how he goes. And like, if you've ever seen any of his work from before, it's pretty amazing what he does and his whole show, because it's magic. Oh, see, I didn't even cut to it. Let's see if I can play this again. Is it gonna let me play it? This is through IMDb. Let's see if I can. So yeah, I don't know if you've seen him before, but he basically does magic stuff, but like, it's funny, it's edgy. But the crazy thing about the documentary is what happens is this guy and the director. So the director of this documentary is the guy who directs Comedy Bang Bang, and I think he has other podcasts and some other Comedy Central shows. he sort of like rips the veil off of magic, makes fun of it, but also does magic in the show. So it's pretty incredible, the documentary. So what happens is this guy Ben, who's doing, and I'm blanking on his last name right now, so forgive me. He's doing a documentary, but in the midst of the documentary, these other documentarians come in and say that they're working on the show. They're working on a documentary as well. And he's like, wait a second. What's going on here? And how that sort of ensues and how that sort of unfolds is pretty good. And the people who are working on the documentary say that they're connected with the people who did Waiting for Sugar Man, and there's one that won an Oscar. The other one that they did, of course, I'm blanking on it. I'll have it tomorrow. But anyways, so he's got to track these guys down, and it's sort of like loosely like that's not 100% true. So they kind of figure out what's really going on with the with that. And then there's like another guy who's doing a documentary, but he's just doing it kind of as a side project. So there's 3 people doing documentaries about the amazing Jonathan, and he's kind of pitting them against each other, and he's like sort of trying to get his life back together. It's just really good. So I recommend that, The Amazing Jonathan, on Hulu. As far as YouTube recommendations, My Analog Journal, I just came across this video, and I loved it.
It's a negotiation.
And basically,
When you cross the street, is a negotiation.
this video is specifically about jazz from the 70s from Japan. But this show is called I'm sorry. I just came across this. Coffee Break Sessions. Coffee Break Sessions, CBS. Don't get confused by the Central Broadcasting Service. But he basically just mixes jazz. This specific show is about Japanese jazz from the 70s. But he's literally just mixing them. No narration, just he shares the albums. Just super cool. I love vinyl. I collect vinyl, so just to hear this and just groovy stuff and just chill out. I think he's pulling out, what is he pulling out there? Just a remote? Oh, he's cleaning it off. Look at that. Classy guy. Yeah, so you get the idea there. Really recommend that. I need to explore more of his videos just to know exactly more of what he does. But I came across that based on the kind of algorithm of other channels that I watch. So that's the first recommendation I have. The second recommendation I have is Last Week Tonight with John Oliver. Now I never took it away. Let's try that again. Okay, there we go. Okay, I'm putting it away. You weren't supposed to see the switch, and then I bring it back up, and then there it goes. Okay, just because he put out a new episode. If you have HBO, you can watch it live, but I don't. Even with that free service, it's still, So anyways, Last Week Tonight with John Oliver. This one is about. This one is about. I'm blanking now. I'm sorry. OAN. Our American Network. It's a very right-wing, conservative, very, very right, kind of fringe media outlet, news outlet, and they have the guys. They're sort of like far more crazier than Fox, but just check it out. Last Week Tonight with John Oliver. And again, go to Seth Meyers because I want to tell you something. Whoops, no, I don't want to do that. I want to undo that. That's blank for a while, and I'm just going to do it. Late Night with Seth Meyers. Again, you can see it on live TV or watch the YouTube. But check out his shot. His shot has this angled attic thing. Okay, he wasn't doing that before. Okay, all these legit hosts are now coming to the show and doing YouTube type stuff. I'm just saying, the shot looks like my shot, and I had this shot first. I didn't have the show first, but I had the shot first. Okay, so Seth Meyers, get off my shot. Okay. We have a recipe of the day, which is new. The recipe of the day. The recipe of the day is shepherd's pie. Okay. I made a shepherd's pie the other night, and I thought it would be a good one to share. So there is a link to a recipe. Can you read that? Okay. There we go. In the description of this. But basically what we did, I can tell you just verbally, we had some old beef stock. My wife had made some short ribs, and we had some of the grease and the fat and the stock from that. And what we did is I added that to, I sauteed that with some vegetables. We had some strips of beef from another leftover meal. We had made pho, and so we had all this thin slice. I used half of it, but we had all this raw beef thinly sliced, and so I sauteed that up with some vegetables, carrots, cabbage, beets. So the beets got really red, which is cool. And then we added the beef stock. Add a little water, eventually let that simmer down, and then meantime in the Cuisinart, you can do it by hand if you want. You boil some potatoes. I think I boiled about 5 or 6 potatoes, and I chopped them up into cubes because they boil faster. Throw in a Cuisinart, you can throw it in a blender. You add cream, you add butter, you add salt and pepper. That gets your mashed potatoes. Then in your skillet, now preferably you want to use cast iron if you've got it. Because what you do is once you get the stew going, you add water, you add just like a splash of flour, maybe a handful of flour, thickens up the stock a little bit, makes it more of a gravy, okay, makes it more stewy. Let that simmer. Then when your mashed potatoes are done, you throw that on top, throw it all in the oven, and with the cast iron skillet, you can throw that right in the oven. Have it on 425, bake that for about half hour, maybe 45 minutes. Comes out nice golden brown. It's just delicious. Now, I didn't sink it, but maybe tomorrow I took some pictures. I'll show you how it turned out. But shepherd's pie is the recipe of the day. I really recommend that. And the book of the day is one of my favorites. It's on the shelf here. I didn't get it, so it'll give me a sec to go get it. It's over there. It's a Philip K. Dick story. We were watching Minority Report last night, so I recommend that. That's a short story, but this is a novel. It's called, and it's not really well known. A lot of people know Blade Runner, based on Why Do Androids Dream in Electric Sheep, or I forget the original name. I'm so bad at that. But Blade Runner, Total Recall, all this stuff, Minority Report, with the 3 Stigmata of Palmer Eldridge by Philip K. Dick. And you can't really see that really well, so just stand by. Let me fix that. Whoops. Stand by. That look better? Yeah, there you go. The 3 Stigmata of Palmer Eldridge. And there's drug use, there's multiple dimensions, there's Mars colonists that are stuck there, and they're not allowed to have all the goods from Earth, but still there's like an underground smuggling operation put on by the Plumbers Union. It's just a wild tale, and there's multi-dimensions, as I said, and there's sort of alter consciousness, that kind of thing. It's really great. Let me see if I can find the book. Will you stand by for a sec? I'm almost about to sign off. Oh, gotta pull out my headphones. All right, here it is. The 3 Stigmata of Palmer Eldridge. And this is done by SF Masterworks. That's the press, I believe, or that's the series. Let's see, who's this published by? There's several different publishers of sorry, I'm not even going to pretend to pronounce it, but here's the publisher. Really recommend this book. There's so much to go into as far as the story and the plot. I would digress far too quickly. And the final recommendation, I don't have a graphic for it, so I'm sorry. But the final recommendation is an album recommendation, and that's a newer segment. We started a couple episodes ago. But Red Hot Chili Peppers, Mother's Milk. There's a bunch of albums I could recommend from them, but that's the main one that I want to recommend right now. Mother's Milk. It's a fantastic album. That's one of those albums you could literally listen to front to back, and then back to front if you really wanted to. You could do it backwards. But check that out either on iTunes or buy a copy on vinyl, or if you still listen to CDs or whatnot. So yeah, thank you for watching the 14th episode. We're already on our 4th week. We've been almost doing this for a whole month. And once we finish this week, we've pretty much been doing it for a whole month. So thank you so much. ViralMediaNetwork.com. Like us on Facebook, Viral Media Network. Follow us on Instagram. Do I have that queued? How come that's not playing? Why don't I hear it? What's going on? I'm supposed to be hearing this track. Okay, that's good. Oh, that's why. Boom.
Check what I'm speaking. I'm always ferociously free-spoken, talkative with any topic.
Thank you so much. And once again, if you forget who I am,
built up aggression from the knowledge of the truth needs to be released before the pressure blows off the roof. Can't be contained, held inside.
I'm gonna get smoother at this, I
seems
swear.
to have a mind of its own when it responds. Reaction is felt when it's carefully dealt. Even to complete strangers, his message is felt.
I'm Sam DJ Lumberjack. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you again real soon on the vlog tomorrow, 1 p.m. Make sure to check it out. It's the vlog, the Viral Media Network vlog. We'll see you tomorrow at 1 p.m. Thank you so much for watching. Until then, be safe, keep showering, keep cooking good meals, keep staying healthy, keep grooming yourself daily, keep staying active, keep exercising, doing all that great stuff.
Come up with new ways to illustrate, sophisticate. No need to argue. This isn't a debate. Since you are illiterate,
We'll see you tomorrow live at 1 p.m.
Sipping on some bitter shit. Won't let you hit it or rip it, not even a little bit. So call it quits. I get harassed by these rhymes that are exquisite. No need to introduce these lyrical wizards. Just bring them upon the mic and rip it to shreds like a pair of scissors. Hate to see you go, but thanks for the visit. With this mic, I'ma heat holders, smoking sacks colder than